Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to part 2 of making realistic instruments in Vital. Come along and join me on this adventure. Stick around, there is a bonus sound within this video. So without further ado guys, let's get started. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to turn off oscillator 1 to start with. We're going to turn on the white noise. We want to control this white noise with the envelope 2. If you remember the last video, we made quite stabby, plucky kind of instrument sounds like guitars and stuff like that. In this one, what I'd like to do is try and make a more Bowie kind of sound to start with. So let's see if we can get this to kind of something like that. Add a bit of release. Something like that. We could add a little bit of coming down here. Very subtle. Okay, and that's that done. We're now going to go to the filter 1. We're going to use the same technique as last time, so that means we need to change the filter type to comb filter. We're going to use the top comb filter. What this is going to do is, as we push this up, it's going to bring out these harmonics here from this white noise. As we know, white noise contains like all the harmonic series that we need, so if we bring out the right ones we can create all sorts of noises with it, which is why this is so crazy how we can just use white noise to create so many realistic sounds. If I now go ahead and put this on 1 in the middle, so I'll bring out even more harmonics to the sound. I'm now going to turn on key tracking. So this is going to allow me to play all the keys along the keyboard. If I don't have key tracking on, then it's just going to stay on one note. I need to make sure that the white noise is also going through into the sampler, or into the filter, sorry. So turn on sampler here. This means this will go into here, and then we get whatever key I press, nothing is changing. Okay, so it's just playing one note. If I move the key tracking on, I can start to play different keys. Okay, I want to tune it, so I'm just going to enter value. Let's go for 444 because I think that's around C, if I'm not mistaken. So we're starting to get that kind of sound. Okay, so that's kind of what we want. We just need to control it a little bit, give it some character. So let's go to the effects. Inside the effects, let's put a little bit of compression on it. This instantly gives it a bit of character as well. Okay, let's control this a bit as well, the filter. Let's put the resonance down, key tracking on as well. Let's find a spot we like on the filter. That'll do, somewhere around there. Okay, let's give it a bit of reverb just to kind of make it sound like it's in a real space a bit more. Cool, okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. I think that's one kind of instrument sorted already. Not sure exactly what instrument that is, like an oboe or something. My instrument knowledge fails me here on this one, but it definitely sounds familiar. Okay, so I've saved this bow string, and let's see if we can make something else out of it now. So I think we can get a piano out of this. I'm going to try and make a piano. So let's turn this back because we know a piano is going to be quite short. Sort of. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the macro. I'm going to control this, turn it all the way up. Let's turn down the low end. Okay, so we got kind of like a detuned sort of piano sound. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool piano. So what other things did we do? I'm just going to try something here. I just want to make some kind of weird pitchy thing with this. So I'm going to let's turn the sustain. See if we can do something with the sustain. Let's set up an LFO. So let's just go into here, go staircase down like this, and then we can just get rid of these. We can do this like this. And then I'm going to set this, knowing that the pitch is controlled by the key tracking. Ooh, I can get this to go where I want it. I'm going to set this to the key tracking. And let's have it go like this, so it follows back to the key note, root note. Okay, all right, let's put this in envelope mode. Okay, maybe I'll tune it a bit. Ooh, okay, and let's just go to the matrix quickly, and let's set up macro 2. We'll set this one up to global, and we'll put it on the voice transpose. Let's set it to go both ways as well, and then let's enter a value by 24 semitones. So if I put it in the middle, then it should allow me to go 12 up, 12 down. So something like this. Okay. So we get kind of like a dubby effect sort of siren basically going on here. Just a little experiment. Nice. Okay, well, we can just call that dubby effect siren, that'll do. Just a little bonus one there. I know we're supposed to be making real instruments, so let's just call that dubby effects siren. Kind of close, could probably do a little bit of fiddling, but it's pretty close. Anyway, let's start a new one. Let's try something different this time. Okay, so let's turn off oscillator 1 again. Let's go with the classic white noise. Let's control this. This time, let's control it with envelope 2. So we're going to bring the sustain down, release come a bit, and then this can kind of come right there somewhere. This is then going to control the level, same as before. So we end up with that. Let's go to the filter now. In the filter, let's select the type. Let's go to cone filter. Now remember, this helps us bring out the harmonics from the white noise, which gives us the different tonalities that we need to create different styles of instruments basically. So in this you'll find different types. So this time let's go for a different one, because we normally use the low high cone. We've used that a few times to make some sounds. Let's go for a spread flange this time. Let's bring out the harmonics like that. Let's also boost them a bit like this. We'll turn the cut right down, and we'll put the key tracking on, because otherwise without key tracking we can't play the keys. We'll only get one key along the whole keyboard. Okay, we also need to make sure that this goes through the filter, the sampler. So now we're turned on the sampler. See, whatever key I press always plays the same key. So if I turn the key tracking on, it's now got to start playing along the keyboard. If I start moving this, okay, we could control this a bit as well with key tracking on. We did that, but just have it to like that. Okay, let's go into effects. Let's turn on the compressor. We can turn the bottom end off because we don't need any bottom end really. Okay, and we can fine tune all this in a minute. Let's just go to a bit of distortion. Let's add a bit of drive to that distortion. So we're getting that. So let's put the reverb on here. This will make it sound a bit more live sounding, sound like it's actually in some kind of room. Turn the lows off, turn the cut off, go, and the gain come down. We'll get that up to about 150, something like that. Okay, we haven't actually put this filter through, so I made a mistake there. I need to turn filter 1 on there to have this coming through, and now it will start to come through here. So we should, the higher up I play, okay, so there we got a kind of Indian sound. So on to the next one. Okay, so for this one, let's select basic shapes. Let's go into the edit mode here. So you're going to make sure you're on power scale here. Select this here. Let's just clear these. So we clear all that. Select this. Here we go. Let's lift up harmonic 2, harmonic 3, and 4, 5, 6. Let's add 6 as well. Remember, you can zoom in and out using the scroll here if you want to. So let's have that around here. And let's bring these down a bit. So these are the phases basically. So that's all right. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's add this harmonic here, shall we? Put that in there. Okay, so we're getting a kind of organ sound is what we're going for here. So let's now make this sound a bit more realistic. Let's just turn off the tempo, put it in seconds mode, and let's go for like 160, something like that, speed-wise. Do. Okay, and let's drag this now to the fine-tuning. This is going to be controlled with the macro, so let's drag that into that, and let's control that with this. That gives it a little wobble. Okay, and let's add some more shapes. So let's add another 2 basic shapes on top of this. Okay, so we've now got 2 basic shapes. Let's come down one with this one. So go -12, and this one we go, what, 7? Detune it slightly. Let's put the volume slightly different to each other as well. We could give this a bit of wobble as well. Let's do this first. So let's drag this to the fines, and we'll do the same. We'll control it with the macro by dragging the macro into here as well. Go. Now let's just give the actual levels a bit of wobble. Actually, let's do this trick. So if you press shift and you drag any LFO, it's going to flip the bipolar, so it goes both ways. As you can see here, it's now going both ways. And I can control how much. I want it to be very subtle. And I'm going to do the same thing here, shift and drag onto the level of this one, and then I'm going to control that like that. And I'm going to do the same for this one here, so we get exactly the same, a little bit of wobble. So we'll make them very subtle. They don't have to be exactly the same, they can all be slightly different to give a bit of variation. so we could now consider maybe adding some effects to these sounds as well. So we could go in here, put compressor on it. Okay, so you can see I've fiddled about with the settings on the multiband. I've come up with this decision here to use about here, so I've skipped through all that for you guys. So you get something like this. Okay, so we're looking at that. Might be a bit louder, turn that down a bit. What else can we add? We can add this to the distortion. So you want it very subtle, so we're going to have it about here somewhere. There somewhere. We can smooth this off a bit with a bit of reverb, maybe. Take the bottom ends off. I mean, about 500, something like that. Okay, we've got a sort of organ there. I think that's cool. So we can leave one there. Let's save this as an organ. And let's do one more sound, guys. One more sound. Okay, so let's use another technique here. Let's go to the basic shapes. We're going to go to the editing section here. What we're going to do is, first of all, let's just delete all of these. So delete, 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 delete. We don't want to create, we want to delete. Thank you. Delete, delete, delete. Cool. And then what we're going to do is add a modifier, wave warp. That's going to appear here. We then want to select it and click over here and then create another keyframe, which gives us another wavetable section. But in this one, we're going to go all the way to 20, like that. So that means over here, it's normal. And then when it comes to the end here, if we morph it and we flip over to here, it's going to switch to that. So if we come out of here now and we move this, you can see it moves like this. It warps the wave. Okay, cool. So that's the first thing we do. What happens now? We want to try and control this shape. So let's use the envelope to try and control the shape a bit. Release. And then let's use that to control this. Okay, so we're already getting some kind of trumpety sound, right? So maybe we can do some more side of. Let's now go into the effects. We can add some compression, first of all, give it a bit of volume and boost. We could also take some of the low off, probably. Okay, distortion, which we could probably give it a bit of modulation to the drive, just to give it a bit of. Still take some of this low end off, right? And let's go to the reverb, and this will make it sound a bit more live if we take some of the bottom off as well. Cool, you could add a bit more time. Okay, cool. So there we go. We got some kind of trumpet brass sound there at the end. So I think we've gone through quite a few different sounds. This was part 2 of making live instruments in Vital. So I hope you guys learned something in this one, took something away from this. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching, guys. Until the next one, take care. Peace.